Okay, so I'm in Maine. I'm at Gary's. Gary's Good Deals Inc. I talked to him on the phone after being treated very poorly in Massachusetts by one place in Plimpton, Mass. And then I went to another place in Seekonk, which the man was very, very nice, but he said he didn't have anything. So my buddy Randall and I took my trailer up here, and after talking to Gary on the phone, I actually had a very lovely conversation with him. He's just a very nice man. Didn't try to rush me, answered all my questions. All right, so I think this is one of the beds we're getting. I like the Duramag because my buddy has a Duramag utility body. It's all aluminum. Now, I thought about putting a utility body on that truck, but you know, this one here looks like it's taller. But the problem I have is a couple problems. I'm worried about my kids, my two young boys. Well, Bryson's 20, he's not young, but my two boys are gonna start driving, and I'm worried about like the bottoms here getting hit if they like cut a corner or run something over, because it's bound to happen, you know. So when I worked at the large construction companies, all these bodies, the guys who weren't used to driving, like the laborers, they'd send them to the store to get a coffee, or they'd send them to the hardware store to get, like, you know, pipes or something, and they would bang all the bottom of the bodies up, especially, and it looks like somebody's already done that. This one's a used body, but a lot of times these front bottom boxes, when they cut corners, they put something right in here and smash them. So I thought about doing a utility body, but I think we're gonna pass on that. And I like having the openness of the flatbed. Now, I also like the Duramag flatbed because it has the channel. You can put the little hook thing in there and you turn it and you can slide it anywhere you want. My dad has a set of racks on his pickup truck where you can slide the, I guess you call them tow hooks or tie down hooks for something. You can slide them on there, and that actually is a really nice feature. And he said to me that he orders all of these with the lights and everything in there too, so I like that also. You got the rub rail, stake pockets. So I'm assuming these, he said he had 3 12-footers, and then we're also gonna get one for Randall's truck, possibly, if he likes them, because his bed is starting to do the typical Ford bed thing that they all do and rot out. And then if I decide to keep my black pickup truck, I'll probably come here and get a bed for that too, because as you can see, he has an abundance of beds. And he told me that he buys them in bulk, obviously, from the looks of it, and that's why he was actually a lot cheaper than another place that I looked at, because the other place only wanted to keep a couple just for looks, you know, on the lot, and then what they wanted to do is order you in something. So when they have to order it in, now you're talking, you know, a lot more than somebody who's bought in bulk. Now, I'll tell you one thing though, I couldn't live in Maine. I'm freezing already. So right now is March 20th, 21st, I believe. And I am freezing cold. So this has a nice skirt, but I don't think we need to be that fancy. And I think the 450 has a toe thing. This might be a bed for Randall. You know, when you're buying a bed, don't worry about like that cleans up, you know, all that little weld soot. I have a friend who's an aluminum polisher. I mean, he can make this look like chrome. So don't worry about stuff like that. Some of these have the thing for the tow hook. I gotta tell Randall. All right, so we'll check back in once we figure out what we're actually getting.
Yeah, I got B&W centerpieces.
Yeah.
B&W doesn't make the right brackets to work in the room. So I build this out of 3/8 steel.
Yeah.
And I make it tall. Well, I've only been doing this for 2.5 years, and it's booming. I ordered over 300 bodies last summer.
300 bodies last summer? Over.
I had 300 ordered at once.
Really?
So I had 100. Exactly 30 days later, I ordered another 100. I haven't even gotten the first order yet. And I did that because it takes so long to get them.
Right.
And I had new car dealers calling for stuff, and the general public, and one guy says one day, nobody got nothing in friggin' stock. So I sat down and I thought about it for a few minutes, and I made a big order.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did.
Yeah, because we come all the way up. Yeah, we come all the way up from the Cape. Now you recommend, I see you have all the Duramag bodies. You really like them?
Yeah, they're built very good.
They're
Cool.
built here in Maine.
Built here in Maine?
They built in Maine.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding. Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's probably 15 miles from here where they're building.
Interesting. Learn something new every day. Cool. No, Randall, you said you're getting one with a skirt, huh?
On the back, on the very back.
The apron.
Yeah.
And the tail board.
Yeah. Small dish.
The fully skirted ones. These are GM.
There's my boxes.
He was just telling us that the ones that are made to have the dump put in it, they have a 2x6 frame so you can fit the dump hoist in there. And he has a bunch of dump hoists here. So you could buy the bed. This one, he said, it's all aluminum. Even though it's painted black. It's got the dual purpose tailgate, he was just telling us, so you could put it down or you could dump it like a dump truck. You know, you just pull the bottom pin and you just install that dump hoist. And he has them here in stock. And the ones that aren't meant to dump, like the ones we're getting, because I don't need it to dump, this is lower. I forget the size he says. It's probably like half. It's like 3 inch. This is 6 inch. So where'd they go?
More columns. I gotta build the fuel holders, hold them up. I lighten that one out before I put the body on. So get in there.
So
Oh, yeah.
so Gary was just telling us this is a brand new truck, GMC.
I got this side here welded in. I ran out of big wire.
Of course.
Brand new GMC straight from the dealer. He's custom putting the dump body on, and he's custom making mounts. So
So I use some steel.
Yeah, no, I mean,
if you come here, he can also put your bed on for you.
So this is the front. Let me show you this other piece.
So you make these sideboards?
I built them, yeah.
He builds these sideboards for the beds, for the stake pocket beds.
So this is a spring latch.
Yeah.
Pretty much like the one on that black
Yeah.
dump body.
Yeah.
This is a little smaller. This is aluminum and this is stainless. So this will get welded to the headboard. And this is what locks it down. Okay.
Up front, yeah.
So then the next one. Locks into that,
Yeah.
right? And then they get a little neoprene, NPTH, I think they call it. They got different names for everything. It's a little wedge it gets on there to help tighten them up so they don't rattle.
So
Yeah.
they're around, yeah.
Right? And then the tailgate goes on. So if you want to take this piece up, you pull your spring latch. That will pull her up easy rather than fighting 5 or 4
Yeah,
posts.
yeah.
All right?
Right.
You can't pull this one off until you take the tailgate off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You
'cause it
can't
goes
pull
around
the
corner.
passenger side off until you pull the tailgate off. It locks them together.
Yeah, because of the way that they hook.
Yep.
Nice. That's pretty cool. And you make them in-house here, right?
I do. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so we got them both strapped down. I got 3 on the big bed, 2 on the small bed. We're gonna drive a little bit, see how it goes, and then maybe we might put a 3rd one on there, but I just gave it the old shake test, and I think we're good. Now, he just had a bunch of people show up, so I'm not gonna bother him anymore. He's a super busy guy. People have been in and out of here since we got here. But it's Gary's Good Deals. Gary's Good Deals Inc. Quality used vehicles. He sells cars too. But right now, I guess he was telling us he's got more beds on the lot than cars. So, right there. Super nice guy. I'm glad I called him. He had great prices, to be honest with you, from shopping around at other places. But we're gonna get out of here and head back home. So big thanks to Gary. I just met him, but he was super helpful and really friendly with great prices. Gary's in Randall, Maine, and I don't do sponsorships. Maybe someday. It's not a sponsored video by him or anybody with Duramag bodies or anything. All it is he was just really nice when I talked to him on the phone, and I checked out Duramag's website. I liked what they had for beds. I liked the construction of the beds. All right, we'll catch you on the next part of building my tool truck. All right, guys, I just got back from working. It's a few days later, and I'll show you. I got the bed just sitting on there because why not? I had to store it somewhere anyways, right? So I put one of my toolboxes on there. I still got the cargo strap on here because that's what I was using to lift this off the trailer. I dropped my buddies off at his house. He had a machine at his house. We took his off with the cargo strap, and then we just took this off. So I just put that toolbox there to kind of see what it looks like. I think I'm gonna have to do a little modification of the toolbox. And I might have to put like a filler here, or maybe, I don't know. I was toying with the idea of cutting that gusset out and then just moving the toolbox all the way over and then like bolting to the toolbox, but the toolbox isn't as strong as a gusset, so I might put a filler piece in here. And then the toolbox, I got these Protech toolboxes used. I like them because they're not diamond plate. I don't like diamond plate. I'm gonna clean them up, but the doors, if you see here, I'm gonna have to build on the bottom of the toolboxes some square like tubing to raise it up a little bit, so when the door opens and this rotates, I'll show you, it'll go under the toolbox. So yeah, that's small little detail that I overlooked. A lot of guys that do these side toolboxes, the hinges are up here. But I really like these Protech toolboxes, so I want to make them work. I want to clean them up and make them work. I am really happy with the way that this bed sits, because this is going to be a tool truck, like, to work out of. I didn't want a utility body, you know, just because my son's going to be driving it. Like I said earlier when we were shopping, every tool truck or utility body that I've ever driven, or everyone that I've seen at the companies that I've worked at, where the younger generation who's just, you know, coming into the workforce, they get sent for coffee, they get sent for stuff, and the tool body that comes down to here, they tend to pull into places and smash this corner of the bed. So at least if he cuts the corner, which I'm just anticipating, but I don't want to make him sound bad. He's actually a really good driver, but this is a much bigger truck than what he's used to. He's used to the little short bed single wheel. So, and I just like the way that the aluminum flatbeds look. I just like them. Now when you're buying one of these beds, keep in mind that there are hitches available to buy. I didn't buy one because my frame, as you can see, I have to continue the frame out a little bit and then do a big triangle gusset down with a hitch and some sort of step-on bumper incorporated into the receiver hitch. But as you can see, I got the one without the diamond plate. I just don't like diamond plate. My truck has diamond plate toolboxes on the Peterbilt, and those are a nightmare to keep clean. So eventually we'll be replacing those too with just stainless, straight stainless, which I'm sure will be all scratched up and I'll be upset over that. But just like this bed, which will be scratched eventually, it's work truck, you know what I mean? It's all work. So I talked to somebody about painting the truck. That's probably gonna get done next, but like everything else, you know, everybody's backed up, and I don't really want to bolt this bed down and use this truck. I got the little, you know, I got the little homemade cheap, you know, I had some scrap metal when I made this, but that was 3 years ago, and this bed has served me perfect. Now, I don't know, that's a steel tank. I was thinking about getting an aluminum tank and put on there, but you know, all this stuff costs money. You just keep buying things, and then, you know, thing hasn't made you any money. So at some point you gotta stop and just deal with what you got. Yeah, so I mean, I really like it, you know what I mean? It sits on there nice and low. One of the things that I was worried about is having it kind of high, because you got to remember, you're gonna have people working with you and gonna be lifting, like, you know, the small plate compactor. Now this one here, this one is just up to my belt line, so that one over there is, you know, up, I would say up to the top of my stomach, which that's not a huge deal, but like I said, it is nice to have it at waist, you know, waist level. But yeah, I think once I put like maybe a filler right in there, I gotta get the slide in things here. I think my buddy Randall was saying I should put a spotlight in here, slide it down here and put it right here, which, because I had originally said maybe I'll drill through here and put a spotlight here facing back, and he said, why don't you just get one that slides down the track and then fills up the spot here. But what I do like is in the mirrors, you can see right over this. So that's actually nice, because at first I was kind of like, I don't know about this. You know, maybe I should have got a bed that went straight up, but I actually like that. However, if I wasn't going to put toolboxes here, I probably would have shopped around for a bed where the headboard came straight down like that. But I think that's gonna be sweet once we get the toolboxes put on it, because as you can see right there, in order for the toolboxes to be to the side there, they pretty much take up that whole area. And then when I build the little stand or whatever, you know, I just need a couple inches aluminum little square for that toolbox to sit on and bolt to. It'll take up this bit, so this should sit flat, like flush across there, and I think that'll look pretty good. Now this bed here, all I have to do is, I'm probably gonna put rubber down there. I have old conveyor belt, because you don't want to put aluminum on steel. You really want to put something between it. You know, you see like a lot of the oil trucks have wood, and then it's U-bolted down. I'm gonna U-bolt this down too, I think, because what's nice about the 450, unlike a pickup truck, it doesn't have that arch in the frame. It's just straight. Now I have conveyor belt from an 80-foot stacker. It's old screener stacker conveyor belt. I'm gonna cut strips, put it down there, and then I'll U-bolt it down. But after I take some measurements and make the, you know, the drop down part for the receiver and the bumper, this, which is gonna be kind of like a step up. So, but I think once the toolboxes are built and put on there, I think we should we'll probably have this much bed. So I mean, if you wanted to, if you were a chainsaw guy, you could put a vise on the corner, which I'm not gonna. I'm probably just gonna leave it open. And then in between the toolboxes, I'm probably gonna weld a piece of C-channel or bolt a piece of C-channel aluminum to the inside of the toolbox on either side. So you can drop a board in there, or maybe I'll get a piece of aluminum so we keep with the theme, but it'll basically be like this. Just drop it in between the toolboxes. So I was gonna go with the CM flatbed. The first bed I was gonna get was the first guy I went to, they were all out of them. I'm trying to think of the name. Man, I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. The second place I went to, they were extremely nasty. So I left there. They were just rude. Very, very rude. But they sold CM flatbeds. And they actually didn't have any aluminum. So, and they couldn't answer when they were gonna get any, or they didn't even, you know, he couldn't give me a price. I mean, they didn't know anything, and then they were rude about it if you asked them questions. So I called Gary, and I actually called somebody else first before Gary, and I'll tell you right now, they wanted $8,000 for the exact same bed. However, you know, a 12-foot bed, aluminum bed, he wanted $8,000. I paid $4,900 for this, you know, and then obviously you know, Maine sales tax. So I'm pretty happy with it. So when you're looking for a bed, maybe I'm trying to think. I want to tell you everything, but All right, guys, that's my experience with buying an aluminum flatbed. It's the first time I've ever bought a truck bed, to be honest with you. Normally, I just build them out of whatever crap I got laying around. But my business is so busy lately that me and my friend Randall were talking about, you know, possibly building a bed, because I did build the little scrapyard bed. I never finished. I was supposed to do some more work to where, you know, the cutout is for the tire. And what ended up happening is I got super busy, so I never finished. And that's why I decided to buy a bed, because like today is a nice day out, but I just got home from work and I got to go meet with somebody about another job. So, I mean, my business just got busier and I don't have the time. So if you have the time, maybe you want to build a bed, you know what I mean? But make sure you have the time, because I'll tell you what, that one wasn't too bad to throw together. I think I did it on a weekend real quick. But here's the thing, it's not finished. It doesn't look good. I love it. It's super functional. You can take all this out and it's a flatbed, but it's wooden deck, which isn't terrible. But it doesn't have a nice bumper or anything, you know? So, yeah, that's something you need to think about. Do you want to have a project that's just ongoing? Because the other thing too is I built that dump body for that truck, and that was part-time. It took me 1 year to build that off and on, and it still has a couple things on it that I need to do, and I need to paint it. It's just, that's all just, believe it or not, that's all just black primer. It's got some brown under it, but just, where's the time, you know? What is your time worth? Now, the other thing too to remember is when I built that dump body, that was like 4 years ago, maybe. Yeah, 4 years ago I started building that, maybe longer, I don't know. And just the sheet across the floor, okay? So like inside the dump body, the big sheet of steel that goes across the floor, that one sheet of steel was $1,200. Now, we all know the price of materials right now is through the roof. When you buy a bed from a place that moves a lot of beds, they're buying it from a place, they're getting wholesaler bulk deal. Then the place that is building the beds, they're buying all their steel in large quantities, so they're not paying the same price as if you and I were to walk in the steel place off the street. So if you're gonna build a bed as a hobby, by all means go for it. But if you're like me and you have a busy business, shop around and just buy a bed. It's not worth, take it from somebody who's built 2 beds and other stuff in my life. At this point, with the prices the way they are, I don't think it's worth it. So anyways, I know I'm rambling here, but I just wanted to try and make sure I hit on all the points here. But that's my experience with buying a bed. Right now, I think they said that next month they're all going up 20%. So I would definitely shop around. But anyways, I'll catch you on the next one.